Okay, you know those videos, right? A cat innocently minding its own business, maybe snoozing in a sunbeam, and then bam! Someone turns on the sprinkler, and suddenly it's like they've seen a ghost.
Or a monster from the deep.
Right. It's endlessly entertaining, but it also makes you think, why do cats seem to have this built-in aversion to water? Is it all just for comedic effect, or there's something deeper going on?
Well, like with so many things, Cat, to really get it, we got to go way back to their ancestors, those wild cats who are all about that desert life. Where
Yes.
finding a nice pond to cool off in wasn't exactly high on their to-do list.
Because water was more about danger than fun.
Exactly. Scarce, potentially risky,
Yeah.
definitely not something they'd go looking for unless they absolutely had to. And you know how it is, those instincts, they stick around. Got passed down through the, what is it, like 9 lives or something, to the cats we've got keeping our couches warm today.
So, even though my little Luna here spends most of her time napping and judging my interior design choices, somewhere deep down, she's still that desert wildcat.
100%. But hold on. It's not just about ancient history either. Think about it this way. How sharp are a cat's
Oh,
senses?
crazy sharp, right? Like, they can hear a treat bag opening from 3 rooms away.
Exactly. And their sense of smell. Forget about it. 14 times stronger than ours. Now, picture that superpowered nose encountering, say, a bathtub full of that lavender-scented cat
Oh,
shampoo.
I can only imagine sensory overload, right?
Exactly. It's overwhelming. And then on top of that, there's the whole issue of their fur. Not exactly designed for a dip in the pool, if you know what I mean.
Because it takes them forever to dry.
Forever. And it gets heavy and clumpy. Total disruption to that meticulous grooming routine they've got going on.
Which, let's be honest, takes up a good chunk of their day.
Tell me about it. And it goes deeper than vanity, too. In the wild, a wet coat all matted and whatnot, that's a one-way ticket to Predator City. Not a good look if you're trying to survive out there.
It's like that feeling when you're walking on a patch of ice and suddenly, whoops, you lose your footing. Everything's off, and you just feel out of control.
And for a cat who lives for that feeling of agility and those lightning-fast reflexes, water is basically the ultimate nope. It's like it short-circuits their internal sense of balance and security.
Makes sense. So we've got genetics, we've got sensory overload, but sometimes isn't there also a learned component to this whole water aversion thing? Like if a cat has a particularly scary experience with water when they're young, could that be enough to traumatize them for life?
Oh, absolutely. Early experiences, huge for cats. Think about it. If a kitten has a bad run-in with water, say, gets accidentally dumped in the sink or caught in a sudden downpour.
It's like that time I got knocked over by a wave at the beach as a kid. Let's just say my love for the ocean took a serious nosedive after that.
Exactly. It doesn't even have to be a huge dramatic event. Sometimes those smaller, unexpected things, they really stick with you. And with cats, it's like that negative experience gets hardwired into their brains, reinforces all those instinctive fears we were talking about. But here's the funny thing. Not all cats got that memo about hating water, right?
You're talking about those cats of Instagram legend who are all about that swimming life. Always kind of figured those videos were faked, to be honest.
Ah, I know, right? Seems to go against everything we think we know about cats. But yeah, certain breeds, like Bengals, those cool cats with the spots, they've got a different relationship with water.
Something about their leopard cat ancestors, right? Didn't those guys actually like to swim?
Bingo. Asian leopard cats, they were all about that life. Skilled swimmers, even hunted fish. And it makes sense, right? If your ancestors weren't hanging out in the desert, if they were cool with water, even preferred it, well, you might inherit that too.
So my friend's Bengal, who loves splashing around in the bathtub, not so crazy after all.
Not at all. It's in their genes, man. Plus, breeders, even without meaning to, might have seen a cat who was cool with water and thought, hey, let's breed that one. And over time, you've got yourself a whole breed that doesn't mind taking a dip.
Okay, you've officially blown my mind today. But I gotta ask, you've got answers for everything. What about the dripping faucet obsession? If they hate water so much, why are they obsessed with a leaky sink?
The eternal question. It's like, come on, make up your mind already. But there are a few theories, and they actually kind of make sense when you think about it from a cat's perspective, that is.
Lay it on me. Because sometimes, I swear, my cat just likes watching me scramble for a towel while he bats at the stream of water.
Oh, I'm sure there's a little of that going on. But remember how we were saying their senses are supercharged? Well, one theory is that dripping or running water, it's just really stimulating for them. It's like a puzzle that never ends.
And cats do love a good puzzle,
Mhm.
as long as it involves batting something around and knocking it off a shelf.
Right. Another idea is that their instincts tell them moving water. That's the good stuff, safer to drink. Less chance of those little nasties that can make you sick, whereas that stagnant puddle in the backyard, hard pass.
So they're not really drawn to the water itself, but more like the idea of a fresh, clean drink,
Hmm.
even if it's coming from a leaky faucet in a perfectly climate-controlled house. Makes sense. But wait, you said a few theories. What's the last one?
This one's pretty simple. It could just be that they like how it feels. Nice and cool, especially on a hot day.
Like a cat version of iced coffee.
Exactly, just a little something to take the edge off. So that dripping faucet could be instinct, could be stimulation, could just be your cat's way of staying cool.
So we've covered a lot of ground here. Genetics, instincts, those mysterious dripping faucets. But I'm betting some of our listeners are thinking, okay, fascinating stuff, but how do I actually give my cat a bath without, losing an arm?
The age-old question, right? Luckily, we've got some expert advice right here in these articles. Tried and true strategies for a less eventful bath time.
Hit me with those bath time hacks. What's the golden rule?
Golden rule number 1, no ambush attacks. Cats hate that, like really hate it.
So no more scooping them up out of their favorite sun puddle and tossing them straight into the tub.
Hard no. Set yourself up for success, right? Get everything you need beforehand. Cat shampoo, towels, treats the good stuff, and timing is everything. Catch them when they're relaxed, already in a good mood.
Like right after they've demolished a bowl of kibble and are ready for a post-meal nap.
You got it. A happy cat is a much more agreeable cat. And remember, all that talk about their sensitive noses, ditch the scented stuff. Go for a nice, mild, fragrance-free shampoo.
Less is more, especially when it comes to feline hygiene. Makes sense.
So, what? No more of that lavender bliss for me while I'm wrestling my cat in the tub?
Probably for the best. Now, instead of blasting them with a shower head, try a handheld sprayer, or even just a cup to get their fur wet. And whatever you do, avoid the face.
Solid advice for humans, too. Okay, so we're going slow, we're being gentle, we're bribing them with treats.
Yep.
Anything else? Temperature, my friend? Cats like it warmer than we do, so make sure that water is nice and lukewarm. And the room itself, too. No giving Fluffy a bath in a freezing cold basement.
Noted.
Yeah.
But let's be real, for some cats, bath time is just never going to be a spa day, no matter how many tricks we have up our sleeves. What about those hardcore water phobes? Any hope for us?
Oh, absolutely. There are always options. Waterless shampoos, grooming wipes, they're a lifesaver. Might not replace a real bath, but they can help keep things fresh in between those less than fun waterworks. And of course, anytime you're unsure about something, especially if your cat has any health issues, call your vet.
Always good advice. This has been amazing, by the way. We've busted some myths, uncovered some fascinating stuff about our feline overlords. Or are they our overlords? The jury's still out on that one. But before we wrap things up, here's something to think about. We've been talking about how cats avoiding water is mostly instinct, right? But what if, instead of forcing them into the whole bath time thing, we found ways to help them, like actually enjoy water? On their terms, of course.
Now there's a thought. How would that even work?
Well, what if instead of the dreaded bathtub, we offered them like a shallow water feature in the backyard, something they can explore at their own pace? Or even those interactive toys that make little fountains? I don't know, maybe if we introduce water in a way that's fun and not scary, we can change their whole perspective. It's about respecting their boundaries while still giving them a chance to, dip their toes in, so to speak.
I like it. It's like we've been saying, their aversion to water, it comes from a place of vulnerability. So if we create experiences that are positive and enriching, who knows? Maybe they'll actually start looking forward to a little splash of water every now and then.
Exactly. So the next time you see a cat having a total meltdown over a pedal, remember there's a whole lot going on behind those wide, panicked eyes. It's a fascinating mix of instinct, experience, and that special brand of feline logic that, let's be honest, is what makes them so much fun to live with.
Ain't that the truth? And hey, with a little understanding, a whole lot of patience, and yeah, maybe a bottomless bag of treats, who knows? Maybe we can all live in harmony with a slightly less water-averse cat. Until next time, happy diving.